Good morning. It's lovely to see you. I'm so pleased to be inside here with you. It's too windy out today. So we're going to have rocks. And today I was kind of scouring the shelves for something that said, oh, I haven't been on for a while. So today we have bloodstone. Good morning, Mike. It's lovely to have you jump on. Good morning, beautiful beings. Good morning, Robin. Don't know all your names, but I love being able to greet you when I do, and it's precious having you join me every single time. So, we have bloodstone. Excuse me. Lena, it's you. Hello, honey. We have bloodstone here. And, why has it got white in it? Well, you can't really see, but there are actually veins of red running through. Or maybe you can. It's got goldy bits, but see, there's a little line. So it's like it's got veins of red running through it, but really the red is the least part of it. It's this beautiful greeny, yellowy, whitey thing, and because it's tumble polished and essentially it's quartz, it's just lovely to hold and stroke and, So it's beautiful, and I hope you can see the subtle colours in it because it's a bit hard to show on camera, but there it is, and I'm glad to be sharing it with you. Inside on this blustery day. It's not cold, it's warm, but it's blustery. Good morning, Holly. It's great to see you. Now, what next? We have a little, what is this? It's not a dodecahedron. I think it's an icosahedron. Sacred geometry. I bought myself a little set years and years and years ago. And this is one piece. And look, it's sort of a funny shape, and then you turn it, and it's something else. It's symmetrical. And it's just all made up of these triangles. So yeah. And it's amethyst, right? It's a little amethyst set of, and it's very imperfect. This little set, very not symmetrical, nothing perfect about it, but it's very sweet, and I'm enjoying sharing it with you. So there you are. And last but not least, this one was given to me by my lovely friend Linda. She sent me the lace hat that I wear in the transitional seasons. It's got holes in it, right? It's lace, so it's not as warm as the rainbow hat that I wear in winter because it hasn't got holes in it. And when she sent me my hat, she sent me some little rocks, and this is one of them. And this is emerald. This is raw emerald, not gem emerald, just she says, raw emerald, and it's beautiful. You can see all these chunks of green. It's fabulous. It's just a piece of tumble-polished raw emerald, and I'm very fond of it because it reminds me of the lovely person that made my hat for me, one of them, and it's beautiful. So there we go. Now, today, I want to talk about being happy. Oh, that. And I say it like that because I know how I would have responded to myself. If I could go back 3 years and be me 3 years ago watching me now, it'd be like, oh, God, being happy, what are you on about? How do I do this? This is impossible, blah, 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 blah. So what I understand now is that really, truly, genuinely, scientifically, practically, for real, quantumly, in every way that, every lee that I can say to you, being happy, being in joy, being in love, being in an elevated heart-centered emotion is actually the best way to fix any problem. And I'll try and talk about that, why that is in a minute. The point is to be habitually good at it, for it to be the thing that you get so good at doing that you don't even notice the fact that you have an illness or you have a financial problem or there's a problem person or people or situation in your life. You are so busy being happy or joyful or whatever, that the things that used to occupy your awareness and stress you out and, that you used to about, don't anymore. And it turns out that is the way we really change. And let me tell you, it's not for the faint-hearted because we are all so addicted to being something other than happy. because we get programmed that way by life, by being small, by having parents, by having experiences, by being exposed to media, blah, 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 blah. If you don't understand about that, you're just going to have to wonder, because I'm not going to talk about it today, and my nose is itching, so I'm doing this because I don't want to sneeze. All right. So, why is it that being happy, and I don't mean pasting a grin on over the fact that you're gritting your teeth and you just want to kill somebody happy. I mean genuinely, truly, in your heart and soul happy is the solution for anything. Okay, let's take illness to start with, because, life-threatening illness, pain, difficulty, whatever, with your body. The reason why being happy is actually the fix for that, and notice that I'm not saying it's a quick fix, it's an immediate fix, because whatever is going on in a person's body, they may have spent their entire life thinking and feeling certain ways which as a result, when you think a thought, you have a chemical that gives you the feeling and sends certain information to the DNA in your cells, and if you are habitually thinking and feeling the same way for years and years and years and years and years, you are sending really consistent information to your cells, and they get programmed first to expect that feeling and then to ask for it, even when you've decided you want to stop feeling it. And then that actually sets you on a path to a genetic destiny. And there's a whole sort of light bulb that went on in my head about that when I read another wonderful book about the fact that there are receptors for these chemicals that give us emotions. I'm not going to talk about the fancy words. Trust me, on your cells, every cell in your body, there are receptors. And different areas of the body have concentrations of receptors for different chemicals that relate to how you feel. So you can imagine that if somebody is constantly feeling a certain way, be it happy or sad or angry or fearful or whatever it is, that if those chemicals are always there, they're always going not just to stimulate the same receptors over and over and over, but to particular parts of the body. Sandy, it's you. Good morning, sweetie. And this is the connection between consistent feelings and ways of being and thinking and believing and all of that, and which parts of your body get sick. Because you're sending a shitty, angry, upset, sad, desperate, depressed signal to your body over months and years. It can sometimes happen very quickly if you've had a really traumatic event. But for most people, it's chronic, and we just program our bodies into disease by being who we think we are and how it's normal for us to be. And, oh, my life's like that, and life's like that, and people are like that, and it's always been this way, and, oh, this always happens to me. All of that shit pushes the same buttons in those particular parts of your body where there's the most receptors for that kind of emotional chemical. And if you keep doing that over time, you will get sick. It's fact. I'm not fear-mongering. I'm just telling you how it is. I know, because I've done it to myself. Now, I'm not very sick, but there are things in my body that I am doing the work to change who I am and how I have been for the last 50 mumble years, because I don't want to be that way anymore, because I don't want to go down the genetic pathway that I can see where I would go if I wasn't changing. And so I have been on my own inner mission to change fundamental things about myself. And, and it started 2 or 3 years ago with wanting to create abundance. And, really it was. I want to create abundance. But the more I've done this work on myself, the more I understand that when I am abundant in myself, utterly independent of what's going on in my life, I'm abundant. And then, as I spoke about earlier this week, I am an emotional resonant match for the abundance that I desire, and I don't even have to think about it, and I certainly don't have to go looking for it or chasing for it or hunting for it. It is going to find me, and all I have to do is stay in the space of feeling and acting and breathing and living and doing and being abundant, regardless of my circumstances. And that, of course, is the rub, because most of us, all of us, are programmed to say, well, I'm not going to feel abundant until I have money. And that is the thing that I have had to overcome in myself. I'm not going to feel happy until I have all these good reasons to feel happy. No, I have been programming myself out of 50 years of feeling miserable. Because it was just how I got programmed and how I kept choosing to be because I didn't know any better. Now I do. It's been a massive job to overcome myself, but so rewarding. And what I'm noticing, I mean, God, I'm sitting here, I'm all warm. Last night I was, and I mean, this is how it happens, right? Because for me, the thing has been autoimmunity. Not severe, because I did a lot of stuff physically to stop that from getting to be bad. And I didn't even know that was my program, but trust me, it was my program. And, so over time, my asthma's gone, my thyroid is healed, although I'm just taking a little bit at the moment because I realise it's not quite there, but it's a fraction of what I used to take. So I've still got some work to do on this. And I had some Raynaud's. You know the Raynaud's syndrome where your fingers get cold, your toes get cold, you get for some people it's really bad, they turn blue, they get cold, it burns, it stings, it's quite severe. Mine was very mild, but exposed to cold, my fingers would go white, this much, all of them. Started off with one, and then, it spread. And over the last couple of years, notice it's taken me some time. I'll try to answer your question in a minute, Lena. I just noticed a year or so ago, oh, hang on a minute. And I know I told those of you who've been with me for a long time, you might remember this. I said, I had this Raynaud's thing, and I noticed last winter that the reaction would still happen, but then it would stop and it would reverse. Whereas it used to happen and it would stay there and I have to shake my hands and warm them up and it would take ages to go away. But it would start to happen, the flesh would blanch, and then it would go back. So it was like it happened and then it stopped. And it just changed, right? And that was a year or more ago. And what I'm noticing now, because I got a bit cold yesterday, because I was getting changed for bed, it didn't happen at all. Now my finger's still sort of mottled. I know it's still actually healing because my hand should just stay red, but what I'm noticing is that at temperatures this year, at temperatures that last year I was cold and my hands would burn and be painful, I'm not cold. I'm still wearing the same amount of clothes. I'm not cold, and my feet aren't cold, although admittedly I have a really good pair of socks that I didn't have last year, and my hands don't burn. They don't have that painful cold feeling that you get in cold temperatures. I've changed. What's happened is I've released enough of the buried, stuck trauma that's stuck in my cells from years and years and years of signaling it the wrong way. I've released enough of that. Nothing's happened fast. It's happened incrementally over time. But it means that my body now feels safer in life to have blood supply to my periphery. To not be in emergency mode, to not overreact to a change in the environment. And I've done that by willfully choosing and practicing being happy. I've had to practice it, guys. I have not done this easily. Well, they're bamboo socks, Lena. This is the thing. They're really, really good socks made of bamboo. And they're just amazing. I'm so grateful. So what happens when you get better and better at having happy feelings is that you're sending a different signal to your cells. And if you've been sending sad or disempowered or angry or whatever it is signals to your cells over however long, you can expect that you're going to have to practice sending a different signal for long enough to rewrite the old program. That's why it has to become habitual. And the thyroid has healed for the same reason, really, as I've just told you about the Raynaud's. And I mean, it's still in process. I haven't had asthma for years. That's gone, okay? The reaction in my lungs, gone. And it used to be quite severe. I'm still healing my gut. My gut is really the core of the thing. I know it's leaky. It's not as leaky as it was. It doesn't react as badly as it did, but that's where the autoimmunity often begins, and I know that's what it is with me. So, but I know that I stressed for at least 30 years. Fear in my gut when I'm eating, when I'm not eating. Fear, stress, and it was habitual most of the time. By the time I sort of even, It wasn't habitual to start with, but it became the way I was. And so that signal created that problem. Not immediately. It took decades. And so I know that I've got to get so good at feeling in love with life that I'm not even concerned about the fact that my gut has this thing going on. I'm not concerned about money. I'm not concerned about the person that I care about who's got a health condition or whatever it is. Because if I am concerned about that person being unhappy or sick or whatever it is, then I'm saying there's something to be concerned about. And if I buy in as, oh, I'm sorry, it's so sad, then I'm empowering what they've created for themselves, same way as I've created what I've got, what I'm dealing with. They've created that. I am not going to empower them as a victim. They're a creator. They may not like their creation. But all I can do is live my own life as best as I can, be as happy and as whole and as loving and as compassionate and as whatever it is as I can be. And they have to decide if they're going to do that themselves or not. It's not my business. And that's a huge thing for me, very big, to step back that much, to let go that much and say, it's up to you. It really is up to you. I can't do anything about your choices. So, but that sets me free, you see. And the interesting thing is that when I pay attention to myself and I change my energy to be a resonant match to who I am choosing to be in my future, then my future's going to find me and I don't have to go looking for it. But there's a knock-on effect for the people and the things and the circumstances that I care about. And it happens without me doing anything. I mean, I'm still going to deal with my life and I'm still going to deal with the people and the situations that I need to take care of. I'm going to do all of that, but I want to do it from the space of being in love with me and in love with life as the source, God, 0 point consciousness, this incredible being that I'm finally really getting to know and feel and connect with, oh my God, every day. That lights me up. And the more I stay connected with that, the more coherent I am and the more energy there is in my field to inform other people's fields and help them be coherent if they want to be. And that's the best I can do. So I'm not wasting energy stressing about other people, other circumstances, my own problems, anything. Or if I notice myself doing that, I come back to the feeling of being connected to this love. It just wipes me out. It rips me open. I cry. It's just so all-consuming and real, and it gets more and more and more every day. I can't describe it. I can't believe anybody would not want to do the work that it takes to connect with this experience of presence. And it's me, by the way. I'm just a subset of the divine, so are you. But we all have to make our own way back to that connection to understand that, to recognize, to experience, to know, oh my God, I'm that. Oh my God, I'm that. It's such a deep decision and you have to make it so many times. And I want to tell you a little story because perhaps this will illustrate somewhat. Just a couple of days ago, I was in meditation, deep in meditation, and I'm trying to remember what happened before, and I can't. I mean, there's a lot that happens for me. But I know I was in theta. I know I was connected. I might even have been in, low-level gamma. Don't know. But there was lots of energy in my brain. And how do I know that? Because it feels amazing. And it was through my whole body. And in fact, if I remember rightly, this was the meditation where, there's a torus of energy that runs up your center and it's, like a big sort of apple. It's an apple shape and you're in the middle of it. It's this great energy field, same as the energy field around the planet. It's a shape that's everywhere in nature. And this torus was the size of the universe. It was beautiful. And it was me. And it was the size of the universe. And it was beautiful. It was complete and all of that. And I was just in that space and working with it, doing whatever I was doing, and clear as day. Not visually seeing, but perceiving, clear as day. I was sitting at a breakfast table. There was the kitchen sink over there and the window. It was just light. And there was this person sitting across the table from me, or sort of around the corner, reading a newspaper, right? There's a newspaper and there's a mystery person behind the newspaper. And I'm just thinking, oh. And this wasn't a fleeting vision. It was there and it stayed. And that's relatively unusual for me. I'm still activating my pineal gland. It's very cool. So there was this person in their hands, newspaper, top of the head. And I sort of vaguely wonder, I wonder who that is. And they peep around the side, right? And it is a face, but it's energy. And I just know it's the universe. It's source. It's the 0 point field. It's consciousness. There's so much humour. I'm sitting here at the table with you with a newspaper. I mean, how ridiculous is that? The whole friggin' universe sitting there reading a newspaper, peeping around the side so it doesn't overwhelm me or surprise me. And it's just lovely fun. It's, and it's not human. It's just, it's got an eye and it's sort of eyes. And the most I remember really is that it glowed. And I remember that it stayed like that for a little while. I went back behind the newspaper and then the whole thing sort of dissolved and it turned into this flow of blue and green and white energy. And I don't remember what happened after that. It was lovely. But the feeling of the love and the humour of it, I will always remember. It really made an impression. And the energy that I am coming into to connect with and to own as me now is all of that and more. I can't describe it. I can't explain it. But what happens is when I'm walking through my day and something comes up, or, whatever, I then have a choice to say, am I going to get involved in the old manage, organise, control, try to sort it out and find an answer, Maddie that I used to be, or am I going to remember? Yeah. And every time I do that, I'm less this. And this signal to my body is going to heal me. Cynthia, good morning. This signal to the universe is going to allow everything I desire to come to me. Because I'm connected to it all. I feel it loving on me and me loving it. The connection, it's indescribable. But that's what I mean by getting happy. I don't mean superficial, I got a new car happy. I mean that kind of happy. So, yeah. I hope I talked about everything I wrote about. It's always a bit of a challenge to remember. It's Friday. So much love to you. Thank you for sharing your energy and attention with me. If you'd like to subscribe to me on YouTube, please do hop over and do it. I suspect you've all had a look and you've already done it. Thank you so much. But yeah, or if you want to share the video. Again, so many of you do that. Thank you so much. Big love. I will see you on Sunday, Monday. Enjoy the replays over the weekend. Until then, love you big. Bye-bye.